What's up athletes, welcome back to this channel. In this video today we are going to talk about the best training split for calisthenics. Whether you want to gain some skills or you want to gain some muscle mass and strength with weighted calisthenics, or just in general want to improve in your calisthenics journey in the best way, this is some of the basic training splits that you should be doing to improve overall. So just before starting the video, I wanted to just thank you all for 2K subscribers. That has been like a dream for me. The whole support with the comments and just asking questions and everything, it really made my day every time that I've seen some people that I can help them. So if you want more videos about this topic, be sure to subscribe and like to this channel, and of course just comment in the comments down below what videos should I be doing next, about which topics, and of course I will be doing them. I also bought a new camera to start doing more content and better content on YouTube. So that's about it, and let's go right into the training splits. The first training split that I'm going to share is actually the mine that I'm using. I will take myself as an example. So if you don't know, I serve right now at the army, so I don't have a lot of time to train. What I'm doing is 4 days split. So what I'm doing is I'm doing push session and then a pull session and then a rest day, and then another push session, another pull session, and 2 rest days. So that means that I'm training 4 days a week, and in those sessions, every time that I'm doing push and every time that I'm doing pull, I'm training both skills and strengths. So I'm training, for example, in the push session, both the plunge and the weighted dips, and in the pull session, I'm training both the front lever and the weighted pull-up. What is so good about this training split? Because obviously I'm doing it for 2.5 years now, and all I do is just these training splits only. So first of all, I have a lot of time in between sessions or in between movements to let my muscles recover. For example, in between each plunge session, I have 2 rest days or maybe even 3. That gives me enough time to recover and get even stronger to the next session. The second thing that is really good about this training split is that the push sessions and the pull sessions are not in the same session. That means that I have a day that is going just for push and a day that is going just for pull. That's how I like it, because I want to be more organized, so that helps me a lot. And the third benefit about this training split is just you don't live at the gym, alright? You have 4 sessions a week. Most of the time it takes one hour, maybe 1 hour and a half to complete the whole session. That's about it. So if you are low on time, I think the 4 days training split with push-pull and then twice a week is the best training split for you. And actually, if you don't believe me, you can just go check in my Instagram, which is right here on the screen, or just check the link in the description. I'm posting stories of my trainings every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday. So you can see that I'm really training 4 days a week, push and then pull twice a week. I think this is the best training split for overall calisthenics skills and muscles. So the second training split that I want to talk about is a training split for the beginners. So if you're just a beginner, you find this video, you want to start calisthenics and don't know how to train and when to train and how many times to train, so this is the split for you. And I'm talking about the 3-day split, which is the full body split. What you're doing is you're training the whole body. In calisthenics, don't forget, you don't train legs. So you're training both push and pull in the same session, and you're doing it 3 times a week. That way you are not living at the gym, you are still accumulating some volume with each session, because each session you have both the pulse exercise and the push exercises, but you're training 3 times a week. That means that you have maybe 1 rest days or maybe even 2 rest days in between each sessions. So that is enough time to let your muscles recover, especially you will need it as you are a beginner, and just make the habit of going to the gym or training at home if you're training at home like me, and just train 3 times a week doing the same movements all over again. Just get the habit done. Another benefit for the full body split is is that you're training the same movement for 3 times a week and not for 2 times a week like the push and the pull. So for example, if you're training for the muscle up, or maybe for example for the pull-ups or just for the dips, any exercise that you're thinking about as a beginner, of course, you're training it 3 times a week. So that means that you have more room for improvement and more room for technical improvement, which is very important if you are just a beginner athlete. Third training split in calisthenics that I want to talk about, which is actually really important and a really common one, is the bent arm and straight arm split. That means that each session I'm thinking and asking myself if I want to train the bent arm exercises or the straight arm exercises. That is exactly like the 4-day split that I've talked about earlier. It's still in the 4 days, but what I'm doing is, instead of doing push, pull, push, pull, what I'm doing is straight arm, bent arm, straight arm, bent arm. That means that, for example, in the straight arm session, I might be thinking about training for the planche or for the front lever. And in the bent arm session, what I'm going to train about is, for example, the weighted pull-ups, the weighted dips, maybe the muscle up. So I can count it as a full body split because in the straight arm, I'm training the planche and the front lever, which means that is a full body in calisthenics. And the same thing like the bent arm session, I'm training both the weighted dips and the weighted pull-ups. So it's not about push and the pull, but it's more about how the movement is in the body. Another good benefit about the training split of the straight arm and the bent arm is each session is really organized. You know that you're doing only straight arm skills, and on the bent arm you're doing only bent arm skills. And that also means that in between each straight arm session, you let your muscles recover, you let your tendons recover, which are working a lot when you're doing straight arm skills, and not only the muscles. Remember, tendons takes more time to recover, so if you want to go really heavy about the straight arm skills, I suggest you to do straight arm skill day and then bent arm skill day. So that split is for you if you want to train for the planche and for the front lever really intense. That's the end of the video. Hopefully I could help you understand which training split you should be training. We've talked about 3 of the best training splits that I've known about in calisthenics. The first one, which is the 4-day training split, which is I'm using, is the push-pull, rest day, push-pull, and then 2 rest days. We've talked about the training split, which is the best for beginner athletes who's just trying to start calisthenics, which is just full body, 3 days sessions in each week. And we've talked about the straight arm and the bent arm split, which is also very good for those who want to train straight arm really intense and both want to gain some muscle mass with the bent arm skills. So if this video was helpful, remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment down below which training split you are using. Thank you and see you in the next video.